Welcome to Bright Spark Recap Hamlet Act 1 Scene 5. Who is this ghost and what does he want to tell Hamlet? Let's find out. It is just before the break of dawn and the setting of Act 1 Scene 5 is still on the battlements of the Elsinore Castle as the ghost called Hamlet to the edge of the castle wall to speak to him in confidence. The mood is thus ominous as Hamlet is fully aware of the risk he is taking when approaching the edge of the castle wall and conversing with the ghost. Similar to Act 1 Scene 4, Hamlet appears to be a man of action. He compares himself to a swift-moving bird and that he will swoop down on Claudius to avenge his father's murder. It was quite evident in Act 1 Scenes 2, 3 and 4 that Hamlet doesn't like his uncle Claudius. Upon hearing his father's spirit announce Claudius as his murderer, it appears as if Hamlet was suspicious of Claudius all the time, as he explains, "my prophetic soul." The ghost's origin and intentions have been questioned throughout Act 1. It is only at the end of the act in this scene that Hamlet has made a decision and that he tells Horatio and Marcellus that the ghost is honest and thus trustworthy. The audience have been given time, 5 scenes to be exact, to get used to the idea of the ghost making its appearance. Shakespeare uses Hamlet's reaction when he speaks to the ghost to remind us that this must be a ghastly sight. Hamlet is described as a courageous young man, yet being confronted by his father's spirit, he struggles to deal with it and gathers the strength to sustain a conversation. The audience becomes slightly annoyed with Hamlet repeatedly asking Horatio and Marcellus to swear by a sword that they will not tell anyone about the events which took place that night. Hamlet does this for 2 reasons. The first reason is that the ghost, his father, commanded him to avenge his murder. This is a personal request and Hamlet thus wants to do this on his own terms. The second reason is that should Claudius find out that Hamlet has learned about the true facts behind his father's death, Claudius will be sure to kill Hamlet. Even though Hamlet thinks himself to be a man of action, his action is delayed because of a moral issue. Usually when we have to make a tough decision, we have to choose between right and wrong. Hamlet is stuck between a rock and a hard place, since he has to decide between right and right. It would be right to do the thing and avenge his father's murder and save Denmark, but since he is a Christian, Hamlet also believes in forgiveness. So which right decision is he to make? As mentioned before, the origin and intentions of the ghost were the topic of speculation since the first scene of this act. It is only the last scene of this act, however, that the spirit reveals or perhaps confirms its identity. The ghost reveals that it is currently in purgatory, which means he is to pay for his sins in hell for a certain period of time, after which he will proceed to heaven. The ghost is pleased with Hamlet's reaction that the news that his father was murdered and didn't die of natural causes. The ghost says that were Hamlet not shocked upon hearing this, it would have been as if he drank from the river Lethe. According to Greek mythology, after having passed away from this life and moving on to the life hereafter, one was to drink from the river Lethe. In doing so, one would forget all about one's previous life. The ghost is thus saying that should Hamlet not have been shocked upon hearing that his father was murdered, it would have been as if Hamlet drank from the river Lethe and had forgotten all about his life with his father, thus supporting Claudius and the future of Denmark. The ghost compares Claudius to a snake. The connotations we attach to a snake is that of being devious, venomous, deceitful, and this reveals the ghost's attitude towards his brother. He then moves on to Gertrude. He blasts Gertrude for lowering her standards. He described his marriage to Gertrude as dignified, but a marriage to Claudius as a horror. The ghost describes Claudius as someone whose natural gifts were poor. This implies that the ghost, while being alive and known as King Hamlet, must have been quite handsome and strong, since he was given natural gifts or talents. Claudius, on the other hand, seems to be less attractive and talented, and probably lived in the shadow of his brother Hamlet. He accuses them both of lust and denounces them as garbage. The ghost then proceeds with a lengthy explanation as to how he died. His brother poured poison into his ear, which caused his blood to curdle. This is the same effect one would get when squeezing a lemon juice into a cup of milk. His brother is then said to have robbed him of his life, his crown, his queen, and opportunity to confess his sins. This may be an indication of the ghost's priorities in that he valued his life most, then his position as king, after which his wife and morality followed. The ghost makes reference to two biblical images and that he compares Claudius to the serpent in Genesis, which led Eve, or in this case Gertrude, into temptation. The ghost also compares himself to Abel, who was killed by his brother Cain. Cain killed his brother out of jealousy, and that his brother enjoyed better harvests than himself, perhaps an indication of Claudius having lived in the shadow of his brother, King Hamlet. When Hamlet and the ghost are alone, the ghost speaks and reveals the reality of his murder. As soon as reality is revealed, Hamlet hides behind a mask of madness, but at times already he seems actually to be mad. Queen Gertrude is most seeming virtuous, which means that she appeared to be genuinely in love with her husband Hamlet, but moved on too soon after his death by marrying Claudius. Claudius is corrupt in that he killed his own brother so as to become king of Denmark. He used poison which he poured down his brother's ear. This deed will set the motion of a loss of innocent lives. Another command is given from a father to his son, and yet another promise has to be made. Hamlet thus has to honor his father in avenging his death. Claudius didn't honor his brother as next of kin or king, and therefore killed him. Furthermore, Claudius lied about it and spread the lie of King Hamlet being bitten by a venomous snake. The ghost asks of Hamlet to avenge his death by taking action against Claudius while leaving Gertrude alone. Hamlet struggles to take action in that he faces a moral issue, making the right decision. Should he take action against Claudius and save Denmark, or should he take the moral action of forgiving Claudius as is expected by his religion? That's it for Hamlet Act 1, Scene 5. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to Bright Spark Recap.